Hey guys, Tomboy61, and today we are on Greece in the ship that is no longer in our port, the Kleber. I know, I'm gonna miss her. I really am. Kleber, fantastic ship, so much so that I researched and bought out several stints of the Worcester. Then, once I played the Kleber, realized I'd done goofed, and am now feverishly researching Kleber in the hopes of unlocking it sooner because yeah, Kleber, she's chef's kiss. She's beautiful. She's fast. She's deadly. She got great torps. She got great guns. So yeah, we're playing her today. Pretty fun game. Played it a little weird, but it was still effective. Now we are in C, so we are going to go ahead and play this side. And if we noticed, the lemming train has already begun. If we can go ahead and look. And oddly, right now, it looks like both sides' lemming trains are colliding. Like, a bunch of their ships are also in the BC area. And our lemming train slash the pull of all of our forces is pulling them through to sea. So at this point, we kind of have two options. One, well, now we have to run away because I don't know about you guys, but I totally forgot about that Edinburgh right there. He decides to pop his radar. He's well within range of us, so we need to beat it and get out of here. But thankfully, we aren't too close to him, which is nice. So he is going to take us a little hit, and he's going to go ahead and reset us on the flag. But we do go ahead and pretty well outrun him during this radar time. Like, thankfully, we only take a little bit of damage. And generally, if you're going to burn a radar, you want to be able to sink one of the destroyers when you burn that radar. And thankfully, we were able to survive. Anyways. Their team is now much more coalescing on A and B, and looking the way it looks like we're going to go ahead and have to sort of harass these players in the backfield. Yamato is steaming his way to eventually turn our way so that we can go, so that he can try to push into C. Or at least that seems to be what he's going to do. And us being a destroyer with very quick speed, very good concealment, and fairly fast torps, well, we're going to go ahead and be his greeting party right after we finally take C. It does take us a little bit. After all, we did get detected and get hit a couple of times right there. Anyways, we're going to start steaming towards Yamato. And unfortunately, instead of turning in and starting to face our team, Yamato decides to turn out. And that is going to be rough for us. Yes, we have 70 kilometer, Yeah, I think there's 70 knot torps. But even then, it is still hard for these torps to go ahead and catch ships that are fleeing, even if they are somewhat slow battleships. Thankfully, we do have a firing solution right now. We'll go ahead and lay them somewhat on the indicator, turn out as to not get detected by him. Yamato, full broadside, isn't going to stand up too well to the shelling. And now we turn our sights on the Edinburgh that decided it was a fun time to mess with us earlier. And I think he is going to become aware of what we are up to. We go ahead, fire some torps at him, and just let this time play out, see what happens where and what's going on. Prince Eugen also pops up, and we are going to go ahead and start sailing into the back. We hit the Yamato, go ahead and sink him, and we're going to go ahead and start essentially steaming towards their carrier. We have the speed boost. We got 55 knots. Sadly, Edinburgh, we just like legitimate camouflage there. He just blended in. I thought he was on the other side of the island. So we go ahead and get spotted, and him being a clever player knows what's up as far as what we're doing, trying to get into the backfield to take out their carrier. I feel like Kleber could be very good at this whole like anti-carrier thing just because of its sheer speed. But Edinburgh is going to go ahead and start screening and trying to, trying to intercept us. Like, good on him for knowing what he needs to do. Of course, as we do this, we are pulling him out of cover, which is going to give our team access to go ahead and start shooting him. We saw him take a fairly substantial hit right there. We're waiting on our torps. We'll go ahead and lay them on the indicator because he doesn't seem to be taking any sort of avoiding action. So we will go ahead and fire torps on the indicator because, in theory, these torps should then go ahead, line up, and sink him. He does pop his heal. We can see he's gained a little bit of a good chunk of his health back. Of course, Edinburgh does have a fairly substantial heal that it can access. We're going to turn out and go ahead and fire our other two or other salvo on it. He goes ahead, fires his radar, which I'm sure he was not expecting us to be this far away again. When he does that, we're just going to start sailing away. We have an island for cover relatively nearby. We hit that 9-kilometer mark, and we are free and clear of him, and he can no longer really do us much damage. We go ahead and we start to come around this island, and we plan, I think we're going to go ahead and start firing on Edinburgh as we come around this island. That way we can take cover and we're not too exposed. We unfortunately hit the navigational obstacle that is the island, and our speed boost goes out on us. So we are now back to stock speed. We do notice Kagero has gotten into our fleet. He's snuck into the fleet, and we should probably, as a destroyer, go ahead and deal with him. The carrier who we were kind of going after was spotted, and he has moved more towards A, and at this point it's sort of a lost cause, and we have overextended. Though at this point I would say I think some of their players were definitely moving to screen us and try to hunt us down. So by forcing them to move out into open water, we may have helped our team get a couple of shots in. Prince Eugen out in open water, and we have our Torps again. Their Kagero went down, so we don't really need to worry about him. So now we just have these 2 cruisers who are out in open water, and we have viable firing solutions on them as far as Torps go. So we're going to go ahead and let them fly. Spread the Torps out all on a couple of different paths just to try and force the Eugen to go in one certain direction or another. Also, because we know it's a cruiser, and he seems to be able to maneuver fairly well, so we know he is going to dodge this way and that way. So he probably has his sonar here. He sees those Torps going out, and we go ahead and set our last Torps in. We fire our guns in the hopes that he's going to kind of turn in and try to start chasing us down. Of course, Kleber has pretty good fire chance, so we're going to go ahead and try. We got that 1 fire started, and we're going to continue. Try to get to burn. Maybe he'll pop his damage control party, but that second torpedo salvo is looking beautiful at this point. 1, 2, 3, and he is down, leaving the Alaska all by himself. We do need to be worried, though. We do have a support cruiser, but Alaska has fairly long-range radar. We do touch him with one of our other Torps, which is sort of a bonus right there. Was not fully expecting us that. Our Alaska is hurting real bad and will not last another salvo against their Alaska. As we say that, he, of course, goes down. Ship-wise, teams are fairly well evenly matched at this point. I think we're 5-5. Yeah, we're 5-5. We do, I think, have the advantage just in the fact that we still have our destroyers. And at legendary tier, if you have your destroyers, they're most likely very well concealed destroyers, and that can be problems even if you have radar cruisers. And looking at the Edinburgh, it just went down, and Alaska is using its heal, but it will, it isn't a very full health one, and Alaska, kind of a mini battleship, like as far as maneuverability goes. So if we can go ahead and take out Alaska, we will be fairly clear sailing, I feel like, for our team. As we say that, though, unfortunately, the other destroyer in the match with us, a Le Fantasque, does get taken down. That is interesting, though. Neither of us have smoke, so that aircraft carrier can be very deadly to us if he can find us. I have a feeling he was kind of hunting down that other one. Alaska just trying to steam back towards B, and we're going to go ahead and lay a large swath of torpedoes in the hopes that one of them goes ahead and hits him. And look at that. First salvo misses. Second salvo misses. Each one can get in closer and closer. We're going to go ahead and fire our gun, maybe making him turn towards us. Thankfully, one of our torpedoes lands home, bringing us up to 3 kills for the game. They got 3 people left, and now it's time to try to go for the Kraken, because we got 3 kills. We know the other team, their ships probably don't have a full regiment of health, so it is time to go ahead, put on the try-hard shoes, and go for the Kraken. We're up to 90,000 damage. We go ahead, pop the speed boost. We know still that the biggest threat to, I think, our team is going to be that aircraft carrier. So if we can go ahead and hunt him down and kind of put ourselves on an intercept path so that if the other two ships decide to engage us, we can go ahead and more effectively assist our team. But at this point, the biggest threat, I think, to our team is honestly that aircraft carrier, right? It's definitely the biggest threat to me personally as a destroyer without smoke. We see there that the Alabama goes ahead and knocks out their Cleveland, leaving only 2 ships, meaning if we want the Kraken, we're going to have to take out both the aircraft carrier and this final battleship. We now see where their planes are coming from, so we can go ahead, make a more educated guess and see that he's probably more down towards A. We can go ahead, turn in, make a more extreme angle, and also start putting ourselves within firing range of their final battleship. Kleber, a beautiful ship. One that I absolutely recommend you go ahead and start researching in the Bureau. She is going to take she's going to take a little getting used to play, just because, of course, she's a DD without smoke, and that's a very rare thing in this game. But when you play her well, she just sings. She's a beautiful ship, and she's a boat that is going to be absolutely deadly to the other ships. Bismarck finally in range for us, and we're going to go ahead and start bringing our guns to bear on the Bismarck. He has half health left, so we got time to go ahead and start whittling down. He has a couple fires already set, but if we can add a couple more problems to him, oof, he takes a big hit from Alabama, and we yoink the kill right there, leaving us with only 1 ship remaining, and it is now time to go ahead and search on down and find that last aircraft carrier. If we can go ahead and kill him, we'll go ahead, secure ourselves the Kraken, and that is always what we like to see. We can see he's just launched a set of dive bombers, giving us a more accurate location of where he's hiding out. Sadly, we do have 1 speed boost remaining, but are not able to access it. But we are still plenty fast in the Kleber, going 45 knots in a straight line and still increasing in speed. We can see the defensive fighters have launched, meaning we are well within range. Shikaku pops up there. He is full broadside. We're going to go ahead, switch over to AP so we can start farming the damage. And that way, once we get a clear line of sight on him, just start unloading using our reload boost. Of course, Kleber does get 1 by default, but with our build, we go ahead and have 2. That way, if we ever have to deal with enemy destroyers, we're easily able to do it. 1 salvo on Shikaku, 2 salvos, that finishes it, gets the Kraken, and that is the Kleber. Guys, if you like this video, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. See ya.